Hey everyone, I'm Louise and welcome back to my channel. So summer has officially ended. I'm a little bit sad about this because summer is my favorite season, but we're now moving into autumn. So I've already started to see signs of autumn, like the leaves changing color. I've seen conkers, I've seen berries. The temperature has dropped a lot in the last week, so it definitely feels like autumn now. So I thought today, why not look at some phrasal verbs and idioms related to autumn, so you guys will be fully prepared by the end of this video. Okay guys, so we're going to start with some phrasal verbs. So like I said, the weather's getting colder. I'm sitting here like this, but actually it's a little bit cold. So when it gets to this time of year, it's really important to put on more layers, to wrap up really well. So earlier I went for a walk, I put on my jacket and my boots as well. So you don't want to get cold. It's really important now to start wrapping up well to avoid getting sick. So don't forget, wrap up well. I have to say, one of my favorite things about autumn is when the leaves start to change color. Here in England, especially, you can see some beautiful trees, all different colors, especially where I am because I live in a village and the countryside is all around. So it's really nice to see the trees changing color. But then eventually, obviously, the leaves fall down, and when I was a kid I used to love walking through the leaves. They make that kind of crunchy sound, so that was always really fun. So we have some important events in this autumn period. The first one being on the 27th of October, we need to turn our clocks back. So if you have a mobile phone, obviously it does it automatically. But if you have a standard clock in your house, the clocks go back 1 hour. So probably with a normal clock, you need to change it manually. You need to turn it back manually so that we are officially in autumn time. So don't forget, on the 27th of October, to change your clocks. I do remember missing an event one year because this was kind of before, you know, phones changed automatically, and I went to a sports event. I think it was for judo, and we turned up at the wrong time and I missed my event, so that was really sad. The next big event, which is at the end of October, is Halloween. Halloween is my favorite holiday ever. So I know I'm not American, and in America it's huge. Like, they go crazy for Halloween. They put up decorations, they get dressed up in costumes, they go trick-or-treating. But we've also adopted this into our culture as well. So we might not put up as many decorations in our houses, but we definitely get dressed up. We carve pumpkins. I love carving pumpkins. Every year, pretty much, I carve a pumpkin. So actually this year, I think I'm going to be going to a place like a farm where you can pick your own pumpkins. So I'm super excited for that. And of course, I will be getting dressed up this year. I've already ordered my costume from Amazon. I'm not going to tell you what I am. It's going to be a surprise, but it's something that I love, something related to the sea that might give you a little bit of a hint. So yes, as always, super excited to carve my pumpkin, to get dressed up, to put on glitter, makeup, all of that. I love it. I have to say now though, like, because I'm nearing 30, a lot of my friends are over it. They're over Halloween. And I'm like, I honestly don't think I ever will. I'm probably going to be 50 years old, still carving pumpkins and getting dressed up. Like, I just love it so much. So definitely I will be making a Halloween special for you guys. I've got my friend coming down to stay, so that will be a super fun weekend. Okay, and then the next kind of big thing we have during this this season is bonfire night. So this is a very British thing. Most foreigners who I've spoken to have no idea what this is. So we celebrate this on the 5th of November. So on this day, we have a big bonfire. There are lots of fireworks. People get together, normally in like a pub, and they have fireworks in the garden as well as the fire. So there is a kind of reason we do this. So it actually dates back to 1605, and a guy called Guy Fawkes basically tried to blow up the Houses of Parliament with gunpowder. So him and a group of people, due to religious reasons, wanted to blow up the Houses of Parliament. So they put loads of gunpowder under, but somebody in their group sent a letter to Parliament to let them know that this was this guy's intention. So they managed to catch them before they blew it all up. And after, they were all sentenced to death. So they were all caught, and Guy Fawkes was sent to be executed, to be hanged, drawn and quartered. Basically what that is the drawn part relates to somebody being pulled behind a horse to the place of execution. The hanged bit is obviously with the rope around the neck. And then before they died, they would take them down and cut up their bodies. So that was a really savage punishment in the past. But apparently before this could happen to him, he fell off the scaffolding. Some sources say he fell, others say he jumped. Probably he jumped because that would be better than having that. Yeah, so that's kind of like a basic overview of what happened. And that's why we celebrate this night on the 5th of November. Okay, so those are all the phrasal verbs I have for you guys today. We're now going to move on to some idioms. Okay guys, so the first idiom I have for you today relates to leaves, because like I said, in autumn the leaves change colour, they fall down from the tree. So I'm going to start with an idiom about leaves. Okay, so the idiom is to turn over a new leaf, and basically what that means is to start again, to change your behavior, change your attitude towards something. So the best example, or best personal example I can give you, is when I was at school. I wasn't always the best student. Sometimes I was a bit naughty, I'd mess around, so I wouldn't listen. And then it got to my GCSEs. So in England, when you finish secondary school, you take GCSEs. And I remember before starting to prepare for this, my mum and dad sat me down and they were like, Louise, you need to, you really need to focus now and make sure you study hard. So when I went back to school that September, I decided to turn over a new leaf. I decided that I was going to focus, change my behavior, my attitude, listen to my teachers. And yeah, so that's a bit of inside knowledge about me. Lots of people, when they meet me now, they're like, I cannot imagine you being like that. But when I was a teenager, I don't know, I was a typical teenager, okay? Teenagers aren't, always the best behaved people, let's say. Okay, so my next idiom for you, in these kind of autumn months, we eat a lot of nuts, okay? Nuts are kind of everywhere. They're a typical autumn food, shall we say. So I have an expression related to nuts. So the expression is to drive somebody nuts. So what that means, if you drive somebody nuts, it basically means you make them crazy, like really angry. So I'd say the things that make me nuts, drive me crazy, make me a bit angry, is when I see people throwing rubbish on the floor, or when people are really racist, or there's a lot of things that drive me nuts, actually. If someone is making you crazy, you can say to them, hey, stop driving me nuts. Okay, and the final idiom I have for you guys today is to feel under the weather. So what this means is when you feel under the weather, you feel unwell, you feel a little bit sick. So obviously going from summer to autumn, the temperature falls a lot. I remember like 6 weeks ago, it was 38 degrees here, 38 point something. It was super hot. And then the following week, it dropped by about 10 degrees. Okay, so when the temperature drops, when seasons change, obviously people can feel a bit under the weather because maybe they're still wearing the wrong type of clothes like me, and they go out and they get really cold. But yeah, this time of year is really common for the common colds, maybe the flu a little bit. The flu's more towards winter, to be honest, but yeah, definitely the common cold. So make sure you wrap up warm and drink lots of ginger and lemon. So yeah, I felt under the weather quite a lot this year, actually. At the start of the year, I was always sick. I don't know why. And I remember, yeah, spending my last Christmas basically just lying on the sofa for like a week, feeling really under the weather. Okay, everyone, so that's all I have for you today. It's been really fun making this for you, as always. And I shall see you in the next video. Bye!